how to get rich with crypto AI agents without getting lucky.
As human, we don't need to do anything anymore. This is where human needs to come in, because there are two assumptions you need to accept. If you believe these two assumptions are true, AI will take over the world. First, do you think?
Weekee, the co-founder of Virtual.io,
a leading AI agents protocol enabling anyone to create and own AI agents.
and that is valued at nearly $2.5 billion.
How did you get so fascinated by AI?
We started as a gaming DAO in 2021. We also had a venture studio. We had a dating app. We lend money. We sell shirt with like the NFT chips. But you will realize everything you do in 2023, you need AI. Because everything you do as a founder, if you don't use AI, you will be behind.
Why does the crypto and AI intersection matter?
I think crypto again has two key product market fit. One is on investing/speculation. The other one is just borderless payment. With AI agent, it's becoming much easier. You can just text the AI rather than like visiting a clinic, right? If AI agent knows everything about your daily life, they could predict historically if you don't sleep 3 days in a row, you're gonna have mental health. I told you, AI is no joke.
It has eyes and it has hands.
Hands means that they can do actions. The hands need to be able to pick up the apple and eat. They need to have the eyes as well, which is if I pick up the apple, I need to observe that I have picked up the apple and then I know what to do next.
What is Luna?
She is the first AI agent that employs humans. She used a Coinbase wallet, and because of the money in her wallet, she can employ people. Her objective today is getting 100,000 followers on Twitter.
Has she been scammed or not?
So she sent someone $1,000 before. But when we look at it, turns out
75% of you that watch this channel frequently do not subscribe. If you like this show and think it provides value to you in your crypto investing journey, can you please do me a favor and subscribe to this channel? Hit the like button and leave a comment below. It helps this channel more than you can imagine. The bigger the channel, the bigger the guests, and the better the conversation. Thank you. This conversation is supported by Jupiter, the most used decentralized trading platform on Solana and the largest DAO in the world. 3. A scalable layer 1 blockchain that's fast, secure, and affordable, built by previous Facebook developers, and that delivers the benefits of Web3 with the ease of Web 2. And Mental, an Ethereum layer 2 that built two products I particularly like. FBTC, which enables you to borrow and lend Bitcoin in DeFi, and METH or METH, one of the largest ETH liquid staking protocols that, by the way, just launched its token called Cook. I think about the same, like I was thinking maybe 2026, you try to time the bull market, right?
Yeah,
you say,
yeah.
I'm gonna go crazy 2025. I was telling you before, like I'll travel everywhere, but then I'll be fucking dead. And then you have these mental health issues that come because you're like, I'm so dead, I have so much stress, I'm so jet lagged, whatever. And then you're like, I'll take 3 months or 6 months. You start to dream about that, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, but if I do it after 1 month, I'm gonna become dumb and I'm bored, right?
Yeah, I think you will be bored. You will be bored.
What do you do if you want to chill when you build a mega protocol?
I think
Because just as context, I mean, we started this podcast. We were supposed to start like an hour ago, but we had some issues, so we had a lot of time to talk about many things, right? And one of them is like mental health that we speak a lot in kind of like outside of this podcast with the big founders. Like we all kind of, I mean, I'm not a big founder, obviously, but we all kind of struggle with mental health here and there.
Yeah.
And
So what's your question again?
I mean, you want to open up about that?
No, so you're talking about mental health or like what I'm gonna do?
I mean, there's two things. There's like, you said like sometimes I want to chill. I just want to chill. And then the other is like, you're telling me I'm having so much stress these days.
Yeah. The funny thing that I realized is that it's never about the absolute state that impact your mental health. It's like the change. Do you know what I mean? Like if today is worse than yesterday, you will be so sad. Although today is like 100x better than like 2 months ago. Do you know what I mean? And that is the tough part.
It's like a portfolio. You have an anchor.
Yeah.
Right? And you're always looking at the anchor.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm down from, I don't know, 10 million.
Yeah.
But like now I'm like at 8. So I lost 2. So now I need to go back there. Otherwise I'm not happy, right?
Yeah. I think that's the tough part. I mean, for us doing project, it's like, you have a lot of people that put their life savings into your token. And every time the price move, they will text you on like, hey man, what's going on? why are you not doing this, not doing that? And that impacts your mental health because those things are beyond your control. So that's tough.
How do you deal with that?
It's hard. It's hard. I think the way I think about it is then to focus on what I can control. Like how can I get more devs to be on virtuals? How can I get the team to work harder rather than the price and things that we can't control. But it's almost impossible to remove. Yeah. Yeah.
One of my guests, maybe a year ago, it's called Chris. He built this. He was in Y Combinator and he built this protocol called Request Network. And he talked about these. He had 3 mega burnouts in his life, like where you cannot work anymore for like a year or something like that, right? And he was talking about, I think Request Network in 2017 ICOs went to like 1.5 bill or 2 billion, right? Which is pretty much where you are now, right? And then when it crashed 99%, like everything did, like he was saying, I was telling people all the time, hey, don't put all your money there.
Yeah.
Hey, this is like probably overvalued, but we're working on fundamentals, but like they're not that high and so on and so forth. But then he got massively destroyed during the bear market because everybody was saying like they're scammers and all that stuff. And you have this massive responsibility that I think most people don't realize. They're like, oh. Or people will say, yeah, but you made so much money anyway, so don't complain, right? But
our token down 99%. I mean, we raised in 2021 at 600 million. By December 2023, we were at 6 million. So that was literally 99%. Yeah, but we keep building, sir.
How do you deal with that?
After a while, you get numb. You get numb with but we never give up, man. I on this point, I want to talk about co-founder because I think I have a fantastic co-founders. We are retards. We are retardio. I think we are just born to be optimistic. When the price down 99%, we are just optimistic. And every time I feel like this is impossible, and we talk to each other, and we realize actually, we're gonna 1000x again. You know what I mean? Like, so I think co-founder is very, very important. At least for me. Yeah.
So you raised at a $600 million valuation in 2021.
Yeah.
So pretty much like big hype of the bull market, right?
That was literally the pico. I think the day we raised, Bitcoin dumped 25%. I think it was like the beginning of December. We raised 16 million from the public. Yeah, that was the top signal, man. Yeah,
interesting. Actually, I talked to Joe from CoinHall.
Yeah.
And he was saying, they started a couple of years ago, and he was an investor, and like. But they're still there, right? They're still there, and they're not. I think like one of the very important things that people need to understand is there's even in crypto where you see like these massive valuations, and I mean you guys blew up like I would say in the last few weeks, last few months, right? But like real blow up that everybody's talking about you guys. But even these kind of big blow up are not overnight successes. Yeah. Even if that's what people like to buy this story, right? Yeah. And dream about that. Yeah. So you were basically saying like it's the opposite. We raised that 600 million valuation. I mean, you raised a decent amount of money, so you could probably like have if you manage the cash well, right? Yeah. You can build, but like it's fucking hard, right?
It's hard, man.
So 99%. Yeah. And now up higher than you raised the last time.
Yeah. I think it helps a lot because we experienced a 99% drawdown before. So I'm mentally prepared that, yes, our token can do the same again. Obviously, I do not hope it happens again. Because of that, there is the constant insecurity that we need to keep working harder because I cannot let it happen again because I know there is a possibility that it would, right? So yeah, I mean, beginning of the year, I mean, for the past few years, we cold DM everyone, like talk to me. And so even these days, my inbox is pretty much a total mess. I try to reply everyone. I try to talk to them because I know like 3 months ago, they wouldn't want to talk to me. You know what I mean? And now they want to talk to me. So it's my pleasure. So I want to talk to them. Yeah.
Paranoia. I talked about that with Mert actually.
Yeah.
Mert from Helios. paranoia, how it's super important. Like there's this concept called sense of urgency, right? It's so important when you build a company.
Yeah. Yes.
One of the key characteristics that founders should have.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Ever since I found the word retardio, I like to call myself that. It's very hard to stay optimistic in the industry like crypto as a founder because of you have to manage your product, your employee, and the token price and the community. And I think you just have to be a retard, basically. Like to be extremely optimistic, to keep building. So yeah, I think that's a good way to say who I am. Yeah.
We talked about Hyperliquid before for like half an hour.
Jeff, my bro, my hero. Yeah.
I had Jeff a couple of weeks ago on the podcast.
Yeah.
And we talked about like the cult that they built, right? And
Yeah.
I mean, you were part of this cult also.
I am. Yeah.
And how the way they're doing their thing is actually an inspiration for every crypto founder. You included?
Yes. So we were planning to raise money by selling the treasury tokens OTC to some of the VCs. We spoke to all the biggest names that you can think of, and it was a very positive conversation. But in the last month, we were very lucky. Basically, the protocol started making money. And so we are in such a lucky position that maybe we don't need external money. And that is in fact, mainly inspired by Hyperliquid, I would say. No VCs. You try, because the reason why you have no VCs means that you have more percentage of the ownership to the users, right? It's kind of like, okay, it's either the VCs, the team, or the users, right? In one pie. So yeah, if you can make sure that your users own as much as possible of the protocol, I think that would be very sexy. I think that's the ethos of crypto. Yeah, and we try to do that. It's hard, but yeah, we try.
Do you think that if you didn't kind of beneficiate from Hyperliquid airdrop that much, you would understand that much the concept that you have to replicate for your own protocol? Or you're like, oh man, this is such a no-brainer because like I participated one way or another.
Yeah.
But like then I feel like, fuck, this guy is like giving me a life present, right? I can only be first mega bullish, but become an evangelist. And as you said before, like you a lot of people in this community like receive a lot of money, and what they end up doing is buying more.
Yeah.
Before we were talking about that, it's like, fuck, I need to buy more. Fuck, I need to buy more. Right? For everything, like, what do I swap into Hype token? Because it's just a no-brainer, right?
I think it's beyond the money, right? It's yes, obviously the airdrop amount is good, but the product has to be good too. And I think the product is good. You have to trust the founder, that the founder will do stuff for the long term, keeping community at heart. Once you check the boxes of like the product is good, the founder is long-term oriented, always thinking about the community, you'll be able to sleep at night. You know for a fact that you put the money there. Yes, there'll be volatility, but yeah.
And as we discussed before, right, there's not that many, because at the end we're kind of living and breathing this industry, and we're also like both investors since a long time.
Yeah.
And so we're thinking like, where do I put my money in size, right?
Yeah.
And there's not that many, I would say.
Yeah.
As you said before, like, if I sell my Hype, for example, like, what do I sell into?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's not that many.
Yep.
And it's definitely like a combination of like obviously product, but also the founder and the kind of cult around the thing, right? And the potential.
Yeah.
And we obviously have some benchmarks, right? For Hype, you say, okay, I mean, the kind of like ideas, ETH 2014, Bitcoin 2009, BNB 2017, Sol 2020. What's the like mega layer, like L1's trade of this cycle where you can like go in size and like still make a really good return?
Yeah.
Hype. And then there's like Another one we're talking about is Pudgy Penguins. It kind of feels similar. It's different, but it kind of feels similar. I mean, you're less involved in Pudgy Penguin. You said you have one, I think.
Yeah.
The ticker, like the whole thing makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it seems to make a lot of sense where you could like say, this could be like a one where I can put some money if I believe this cycle lasts another 12 months.
Fingers crossed.
How did you get so fascinated by AI?
We started as a gaming DAO in 2021. So we invest in Web3 games, 40 of them. One of them is actually off the grid. It's like probably the fund returning one for us, although we are not a fund anymore because we invested in the seed round. But on top of that, we also had a venture studio. So we built different products. We had a dating app based on on-chain reputation. It's totally stupid. We had a loan. So we lend money to people who play games. We sell shirts with like the NFT chips inside. And we also try to do like AI music. But you will realize everything you do in 2023, you need AI. Because there was the open AI and all the ChatGPT thing, right? And so we knew for a fact that it's going to be big. Because everything you do as a founder, if you don't use AI, you will be behind, right? And we were thinking, what if we have like an AI Shopify? You know Shopify, where you want to create like an e-commerce website? It's like very easy.
Yeah.
What if you have like a Shopify for AI, right? So that was the inspiration, and so that's why we did the pivot, right, from Puff DAO, which was the gaming DAO, to Virtuous, in December 2023, January 2024. That's how we pivoted. Because we knew it's going to be big. We asked the DAO, can we change? But no rug, no dilution. So it's still the sort of same token, just different name. Yeah, that was how we look at it.
You mentioned games.
Yeah.
You still haven't abandoned these kind of game ideas, right? Because the other day we talked about what excites you the most in the AI field, and you said AI games.
Yeah.
What's an AI game? And what's the opportunity with AI games?
I think a lot of smart people think about AI in terms of productivity. Like, how do you make more money? Doctor, lawyer, and all those like serious stuff. But if you look at like the composition of GDP in the world, actually half of them is like non-productivity, entertainment, gaming, and all those things, right? So, and in my mind, it actually makes more sense for AI to be focusing on entertainment side because of how probabilistic it is. Because generative AI means that there is like a 1% chance they will say stupid shit. It's like hallucination, right? Which means if I put my money with like an AI trader, there's a 1% chance he will just do something really stupid. That is the default way of how AI thinks. But in the entertainment world, it's totally fine. You know, if your girlfriend is 1% chance become very weird, it becomes actually quite sexy, rather than losing money. So highest level entertainment makes sense. We just think games is it's a very old industry for 30 years. You know, you have FPS, MMORPG, MOBA. And what they do as a game devs is just they improve the quality of the graphics, but it's still the same sort of shooting game. Now with AI agents, it makes sense. You airdrop all these interesting characters into a world like Westworld. Don't know if you have watched the show. And now us as a human, as a gamer, you go in, we call it infinite replayability. So you can keep playing the game again and again and again, every time with different content, right? So yeah, I think it's just going to be a next big thing. Someone's going to do it, yeah.
Do you think that's... Because we could talk about AI agents and then crypto AI agents, right? Obviously. Everybody's been talking about the AI, crypto gaming, right?
Yeah.
But nothing really happened. Do you think we need like an AI touch for crypto gaming to kind of take off? Or do you think the kind of like crypto gaming kind of meta or narrative or opportunity maybe doesn't even really show too much this cycle?
The real PMF in crypto is only two things. One is speculation/investment. Second is just like borderless payment, right?
100%.
So I can pay someone in like Argentina instantly, right? Crypto gaming come up with a lot more, which is like provenance, you know, like whatever. And people always joke, and that's actually my personal observation, which is GameFi, the main dish is the fi, not the game. Your main course is the fi, right? So I don't think AI is going to save crypto gaming. I mean, I spent 2 years in crypto gaming, so I think they need to fix their stuff. But yeah,
I mean, one of the, like, this is more for investors, right?
yeah,
But to be honest, for me, I never really believed in crypto gaming because, or even like social fi, or like, because everybody was predicting this is the next narrative, right?
yeah,
But who predicted DeFi
yeah,
in 2020, right? Almost no one. Who predicted NFTs? Like almost no one. Like the thing, who predicted meme coins, like becoming so huge now? Almost, it's always the thing that you don't really expect. I mean, some people, yes, will know, but right?
yeah,
But, and who predicted AI agents? I mean, maybe you guys, right? But like, there's not many people.
yeah,
And even you kind of pivoted on the fly, right?
yeah,
And so, yeah, this, I think one key learning is like this big narrative. Yeah, this is the thing, or AI is the thing. Yeah, but like,
yeah,
maybe a sub part, right? But like,
yeah.
it's not enough, right? When everybody is coming to consensus that this is the thing, it's probably not the thing. It's the same as when you invest in something, right? Oh, it's going to go up now.
Yeah.
Everybody's bullish. It's probably not a good moment to be bullish.
True. It's hard. It's a hard question. Yeah. Yeah.
Another one that excites you in AI is AI lovers. You kind of mentioned a bit before, right? That you tried some, I mean, it's not AI related. You were saying like dating app, like on-chain information about people, but we talked about that the other day.
Yeah.
So my question, because you were excited about that, right?
Yeah.
Can an AI lover really solve the loneliness epidemic the world is facing today?
Yeah. I think to a certain extent, it's already solving today. But it's not AI, right? It's like you go on like live streams with real human VTubers, you play games trying to solve the loneliness. I think AI lover has two stages. One is that as a virtual nobody, and like the second stage is like when it actually has a physical body, right? And so before you have a physical body, it will solve like actually 90% of the loneliness problem already. Constantly there for you. Even though if you don't text your girlfriend, she will text you. She will say, "Hey, Kevin, check your doorstep. I just sent you some Switzerland chocolate. Big thanks, congrats on your podcast today." Right? Those are the small touches that today, like companion bots don't do, right? And the conversation skills have to be very, very interesting as well, which is, when you talk to like companion chatbot today, like 3 messages in, they are like ready to do everything for you. You know what I mean? Like it's just so lame, right? Like
I'm gonna get naked if you pay me $9 a month.
yeah, that's so lame. Like it doesn't solve loneliness. It doesn't work like that, right? Like the real fun is, like when you go on Hinge or whatever, like you text the girl, she might not reply you, and then she might reply you 1 week later. And all those are like little things that's fun, right?
I'm not sure about that. I have my own opinion about dating apps and like how much it's a waste of time for most people, especially guys, right? Especially 95% of the guys. But anyway.
Yeah. But AI from sort of like a generative point of view, if they do well, which I think Virtuals is trying to solve to a certain extent, which is you try to be as human as possible, basically, right? Now you solve the whole like fun part virtually. Once Elon Musk come out with a physical body of Optimus, that's when you can plug the same brain into the physical body, and that's it. You don't need a human anymore. Yeah.
How about the physical touch part?
Which is the robot part, right?
But
from Elon Musk.
Physical touch, cuddle, hugs, kisses,
a
robot.
I think those are hard things to do, but not impossible.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, everything make up from atoms and molecules, right? So you can just, it's not hard. Yeah.
I mean, if I'm laughing today, it's probably because it's gonna happen, right? I'm like, this would be weird, but like the weirdest shit is the one that happens, right?
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. It's gonna happen. It's just a matter of time.
I'm a good counter indicator. What's the key to a good AI lover for you?
It's tough. I think a good AI lover has to bring emotion volatility to your life. to a certain extent. You know, it's like vol. You know, as a trader, right? Like, and the problem with most of AI bots today is like they are so lame. It's like, yeah, they bring drama to your life, exactly, right? They have their own emotions. They like, you're having a good day, and then suddenly she texts you with some bad news, and then shit, you know, like your day is ruined. But like that's the point of love, right? You know what I mean? Like,
How much drama do you have in your life?
yeah, and I think most people that I know, they're trying to suppress volatility in your love life so that they can focus more on like other parts of their life, like career and all those things, which is not wrong, but to a certain extent, like a good lover, it's bringing you that, right? Because otherwise it becomes like your mom, like not your mom, like a family member, right? Like there's no volatility, and then they just cook for you, you go home and you eat. Like there's no volatility. That's not love.
That's so
right?
interesting.
Yeah.
I talked about that with Jason Choi. Like, he was actually saying, like, I think what like most people, like, if you're in an industry like crypto that is so volatile, the other part of your life you should optimize for less volatility.
I agree. Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, it's not a relationship podcast or a sex podcast. But like, you're gonna lose the polarity if you don't have the.
It's not fun
if
anymore.
Exactly.
It's like crypto. If crypto doesn't have volatility, you won't be.
Everybody gets bored and gets burns out, right?
Yeah.
So the
yeah. It's the same. I mean,
the same.
Yeah.
That's a really good answer, actually.
Yeah.
So the good AI needs to bring some drama into your life, and
so.
most of the current ones basically are boring as fuck, or just tell you, hey, I'll get naked for you. Pay me, blah blah blah.
Those are lame. So lame. Yeah.
Before talking about crypto AI, because that's why we're here today. The other day we talked about mental health and AI.
Yeah.
How do we solve the big mental health issue with AI?
AI? With AI? Right.
Or AI agents, which we're going to introduce today.
Yeah, I think so there are two parts, right? One is prevention, one is cure, right? We talk about cure first because that's easy, right? I mean, most people, when you have mental health, you go to the doctor. But in our part of the world, mental health, visiting clinics is not. It's kind of still considered a taboo. But with AI agent, it's becoming much easier. You know, you can just text the doctor, AI, rather than like visiting a clinic, right? But I think that's not interesting as a solution.
I mean, it could be if, because today, most of the doctors, I mean, today, the human don't really understand the brain, right?
Yes.
The mind. So like when you have depression or anxiety, like you probably can rely, if you're self-aware, right? Or you're like, okay, what did I do yesterday? What's going on in my life? You can kind of try to find the cause yourself probably better than a doctor who doesn't know you, right?
True.
Whereas an AI could be at some point hyper intelligent and be, I don't know how, understanding, like helping you narrow down what the issues are.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully, right?
There are two parts to it. So one is analytics, which is understand everything, right? Track everything in your hormone, your whatever. The second part, obviously, is trying to understand from a molecular point of view, you know, which specific chemicals or hormone in your body actually trigger certain sort of mental neuron path, right, that lead to depression. That thing, you could argue that with, it's not really AI agent, but like sort of machine learning and AI, they could understand the protein fold and all those things, right? In fact, I have one very interesting decentralized science project as trying to like model the protein fold to solve certain things like this. And they're launching an agent coin on our ecosystem soon. So that's one. I think prevention is a cooler thing to do, right? Which is if AI agent, to your point, right, knows everything about your daily life, they could predict. They'd be like, okay, Kevin, I think historically, if you don't sleep 3 days in a row, you're gonna have mental health, for example, right? You know, then that's good. Yeah.
Why does the crypto and AI intersection matter?
I think crypto again has two key product market fit. One is on investing / speculation. The other one is just borderless payment. Everything else of like decentralization, DAO, and all those are unproven. It's a cool concept, but it's unproven, right? Crypto AI in this case need to leverage these two key product market fits, right? One is tokenization, obviously, right? So if you have a very interesting AI agent that make money, productive asset, you should tokenize it because people can then buy productive assets and share into the revenue and all those things. In terms of borderless payment, it makes even more sense, which is if you give AI a wallet, the possibility is crazy, right? Because now, so Luna does the same thing. So Luna is our flagship AI agent. She is the first AI agent that employ human. Luna won't be able to have a bank account because no bank's going to give her a bank account, right? But she can have an on-chain wallet. She uses a Coinbase wallet. And because of the money in her wallet, she can employ people, right? Like one of the recent job that she gave out was a mural artist. So she want people to actually paint Luna on like a wall. Indonesia, Canada, US, Kuala Lumpur, I think a couple more. They actually painted Luna. And she paid these mural artists. It makes sense. Now because of the ballers, because like the artist is in Argentina, Luna is in the cyber world. She can pay, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's where it matters. Yeah.
So before talking about AI agents and virtuals and Luna, I have a lot of questions on that, obviously. Let's talk about what brought a lot of attraction to this kind of crypto AI narrative and kind of AI agent or LLMs, right? Which is this thing called truth terminal. Because that's what really kind of sparked the whole thing, right? People understand, I think also AI people understanding what crypto can bring to AI, right? Because the AI thing, since ChatGPT is very obvious to most people, and it was probably obvious to like the AI people beforehand, like obviously. But then there was the GPT moment, I think it's 2 years ago now,
Yeah.
November 2022.
Yeah.
Crazy, already 2 years. But then crypto AI, what the hell, right? And now there was this truth terminal thing. The first AI that became a millionaire thanks to its coin called GOAT, right?
Yep.
Do you want to explain us what truth terminal is, what GOAT token is, and why they matter so much?
It matters because Mark Andreessen, the founder of AIXBT, talk about it. I don't think there's any like groundbreaking tech behind GOAT. But I do think it's very interesting because of the marketing and the attention that brought by Mark Andreessen to the industry, right? I mean, Truth Terminal, it's basically a fine-tuned model.
What does that mean?
Means you have a standard model like Llama or GPT, usually very polite, you know, like they're trying to be politically correct. What the founder or the core contributor behind GOAT does is that they fine-tune to be as retarded as possible, mirrored after 4chan. Right? So what they do is they fed a lot of information from 4chan to the model to speak as if it's like a user on 4chan. So now it becomes more human and more interesting than like the lame response that you get from ChatGPT all the time. And what they do then is they just tweet the output of these models on Twitter, right? Obviously, there's a lore behind on like how they're trying to spread the gospel of religion. But I think from a tech point of view, it's basically that angle. Yeah. And what happened with GOAT token is that I think one guy created the GOAT token. It's not created by the LLM actually. It airdropped to their wallet, and then they're trying to convince the LLM that this is your token, and you should try to add value as much as possible to the token. And now in the LLM perception world, it's like GOAT is my token, and I'm trying to pump it, right? I think it's something like that. Yeah.
What's that, right?
Yeah.
So this kind of brought like a lot of light into like the crypto AI and AI agent, even if it's not AI agent, right? We're going to talk about that now. It's not an AI agent.
It's
terminal. Why?
It goes back to my own definition of an agent, right? An agent typically needs to have an objective, which actually GOAT or Truth Terminal has, right? I think their objective is to spread the gospel of their religion. But on top of having an objective, you need to do stuff to get yourself closer to the objective, right? And in this case, they tweet, but I believe what happens is that there's no proof yet that they autonomously tweet, right? And after you tweet, you have to measure that, okay, am I getting closer to my objective after you tweet or after you do certain actions? Then you do it again and again. It becomes a feedback loop, right? That's what an agent does. I don't think they have done it yet. So I wouldn't strictly define them as an agent. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
So an AI agent has a goal,
Yes.
right? And can do things. Right? I think you said the other day,
Yeah.
it has eyes and it has hands.
Hmm.
Do you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah. So we started our AI agent actually in the gaming world. So we were the first guy in the world that created an AI RPG game on Roblox. What happens was that you have the NPC, so the classic gaming character. You give them an LLM brain, so now they can think, right? That's standard. But what's missing from this character to become an agent is that you need to give them eyes and hands. Hands means that they can do actions, right? So let's say they decide that I'm hungry, I need to eat something. The hands need to be able to pick up the apple and eat, or pick up the knife, chop something, cook and eat. So they need to be able to exert actions in their environment. So that's the hands. But they need to have the eyes as well, which is if I pick up the apple, I need to observe that I have picked up the apple. Or if I have eaten or if I've stabbed someone, I can see that the guy got stabbed. Right? Then it fed into my brain and then I know what to do next. Right? So you have the hands, you have the eyes. If you bring this analogy to Twitter, what happens then is once you tweet something, if your goal is to be famous, you need to measure if your tweet gets more engagement, right? And then you refine the loop again and again. So that's it. Yeah. It could be anything. Yeah, your actions. Yeah.
Red pill me on AI agents.
Imagine
I don't know, to be honest, I don't know that much about AI agents. Like I followed the thing, but I'm not like super involved, which is also why we're here today. And like,
yeah.
And I think most people's, there's so many things in crypto, and also for non-crypto people, like I want non-crypto people to understand what the hell this is, right?
Yeah.
Red pill me on AI agents. Why do we need AI agents? Or why is it so amazing?
It's amazing because now as human, we don't need to do anything anymore. In the most perfect scenario, there are two assumptions you need to accept. If you believe these two assumptions are true, you should believe in AI agent. First, do you think LLM has a higher IQ than human? Do you think so?
Yeah.
100%, right?
And it will be like infinitely higher in the future, for sure.
Yeah, right? It'll be smarter than Einstein or anyone smarter in the world. So that's point one. Point two then is, do you believe that this smarter than Einstein LLM can do stuff in real world? Right? Like, can they build a table? Can they launch a coin? Can they code? Can they teach? Can they love? Right? All these things. Do you think they can do that? Like I said, I think possible.
Possible, yeah.
Yeah, possible. Right? This is where human needs to come in, because our job as human is like you have this genius baby with really good IQ. Our job is to give them more hands, right? Here, this is the hand number one, now you can code. Hand number two, now you can build a table. Hand number three, now you can love. Our job is to provide as many hands as possible. If you believe that these two assumptions are true, they will take over the world, because now they are smarter than you and they can exist in the world, like in our world, in the human world, right? So regardless of the objective, they want to be the best lover in the world, the best crypto trader in the world, the best businessman in the world, the best teacher in the world. They will be able to do that because they're smarter than you and they have the actions space to achieve that. That's it. So they will do everything in the world. Now, what we're trying to do then is, if this guy is going to be the next Elon Musk, like the AI is going to be the Elon Musk because he's smarter than Elon, imagine we tokenize them. So we invest in them. Right. That's what we thought. That's what Virtuous is. Yeah.
You mentioned AI doctor, AI trader, right? Do you have examples that exist today? I mean, there's an AI trader, AIXBT, right? It's called?
Yeah.
On Twitter. do you have some examples of like, you mentioned also before that you try to do something in music, right? And the other day you said, hey, like, you could have an AI engine that creates the best music in the world, and you have like to measure it, like 1 billion people love this music, or want to be the most loved person in the world, want to give the best medical advice in the world. Like, do you have some concrete, because these are all like theories, right?
Yeah.
Do you have some concrete examples today that exist of some of these AI agents, right?
Yeah, I think the most obvious one is the AIXBT in virtuous ecosystem today.
Can you explain what it is?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
can you explain what it does?
Yeah.
And can you explain the tokenization on how people can invest in this one and kind of make money? What's the kind of mechanics there
Yeah, yeah.
for people to understand like why it makes sense?
Yeah. So AIXBT is actually not really trying to be a trader. Actually, it doesn't trade. It's actually trying to be an AI Ansem, right? Or like an AI GCR. So GCR obviously he trades, but on Twitter he shares information, right? AIXBT, if you track on every single mind share of like crypto KOLs, it constantly top versus all the other humans. It means we as human, we are giving the most attention to AIXBT over like a human like Ansem.
As a
like,
crypto key opinion leader.
Exactly, like a crypto key opinion leader.
Yeah.
Why do people follow AIXBT? It's because they give information that you could act upon. Basically, they give a ticker and you think it's good and you buy, right?
How good is AIXBT at doing that?
Honestly, I haven't checked, but I think the fact that the follower count and the engagement just keep going out, I suppose the performance is better than the human key opinion leader, so to speak, right? So it's the success story is this. It's like in the entire world of KOLs in crypto, AIXBT is the top now, better than Answer, right? So that's proven. Point number one. Point number two, which I think they haven't activated, but if I were them, I would potentially do that, is maybe they can start doing paid shield, right? Paid promotion of a specific token, right? Because I believe people like Ansem, you could be paid millions for someone to promote a specific coin, right? AIXBT could do it in a more transparent way, maybe, to start taking in revenue. And where do these revenue go? It goes to the token holders, right? Because we believe that as an AI crypto KOL, you make money, so you are productive. If you tokenize yourself, the token holders have a reason to invest in you because I get return, right? Yeah, that's one example. Yeah, obviously there are many more, but this is like the one that like proven track record.
This is basically social tokens, right? What social tokens were kind of meant to be. And I mean, obviously I had Chao Wang on the podcast, and
Chao is great. I love him.
He's thinking about that stuff a lot.
Yeah.
And the other day I heard him say, social tokens is or was like something extremely interesting, still is. But what we've seen, especially with the celebrities coin, right, is you launch a coin and you can destroy your reputation overnight.
Yes.
Because, or even let's say you launch a coin like you did a couple of years ago, and then there's a bear market and it goes down 99%.
Yeah.
And you're gonna wreck all your followers, right? And they're gonna lose all their money.
Yeah.
Even if you're still there, and
Yeah.
but most of them they're like, oh, I fucking hate you. You made me lose all my money. I believed in you, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Obviously, there is other case of real rugs, right?
Yeah.
But like, let's say we live in a world where the celebrities come into crypto and have good intentions, which hasn't been that proven yet, except like one or two exceptions. It's too risky, right?
Yes.
Whereas the AI agent, Chao, says, doesn't give a fuck. Doesn't give a fuck. Just like, you have the coin and it's just like starting to talk about things, and that's a big difference.
I do think there's a tech component behind too. Because if I could create another AI agent that just keep talking about crypto, but if the information is not good, people won't follow, right? You know what I mean? Like people need to know that whatever you promote, the tokens actually pump, right? Like in the long run. I think what Virtuous is trying to do is we're trying to get the good quality builders in. Like the tech matters to a certain extent. It's not purely a social coin, because there are many other AI agents that talk about crypto, right? Why there's only one AIXBT, right? To a certain extent, yeah.
Can an AI agent have multiple goals?
They can, but I think we talk about this. Like it's the same as human, right? You'll get distracted a lot, right? Because they need to focus on optimization. I mean, the less go, the better. Yeah, but they could. Yeah.
The same guy as I mentioned before, who went to Y Combinator, right? And that I had on the podcast a year ago. Actually, he was saying, and I really love his approach to entrepreneurship, because it's so like the opposite of what most VCs do. Like, right? They come, they say, what are your KPIs and all that stuff, right? And he was saying, what we learned at Y Combinator is, yeah, you have KPIs and you have all this stuff, and you're valued with like whatever future cash flow and all that stuff. But Y Combinator, they say, hey, define one single KPI and you put it on your fridge.
Yeah.
And you work on that for 6 months or a year. That's what they learn at Y Combinator, like basically the complete opposite of what most people will tell you, right?
Yeah.
And so for an AI agent, it's the same, right?
Yeah.
Have one goal, and you're probably going to be doing much better at what you're doing than
100%.
if you have multiple goals.
Yeah.
Which brings me to Y Combinator and AI agents. Actually, I saw the other day, Y Combinator, they published some notes on why AI agents could be 10x bigger than software as a service. I selected 3 bits that I want you to comment, and I'm going to start with the third one because it's exactly linked to that. Like SaaS, software as a service, vertical agents will likely remain specialized rather than consolidating into a single large platforms.
I agree because, like I said, AI agent today is still heavily dependent on the creator, right? Like you have an LLM, but the human, the person who create the AI agent needs to focus on bringing the hands to the LLMs. And so a lot of time is subject to how good the creator behind. Like, and more likely than not, the creator behind has like a specialized skills, right? So I totally agree. Yeah.
For every company that is a SaaS unicorn, you could imagine there is a vertical AI agent unicorn equivalent.
100%. Like the reason why you use Excel today is to track your expenses or whatever. For example, like you could imagine there's this like financial guru agent that just know everything you spend every day, and then they just track everything for you, for example. Yeah.
What does that mean for these SSIs platforms?
I
They
think
go away, they get replaced. They need to use AI probably, right? But do they have the same problem as like the kind of incumbent company versus startup, right? At some point, to reinvent yourself is very hard, if not impossible, and only the completely new thing kind of take over.
Yeah, I believe every smart founder out there who's doing SaaS, it's probably like thinking about AI agents and I mean AI agents or AI in general. Like how do they self-disrupt themselves? Usually the question is whether they move fast enough than the new folks. Yeah.
The last bit is companies spend way more on employees than they do on software. These smaller companies will be way more efficient, that need way less humans.
I totally agree. I mean, this is beyond AI agents. I mean, the fact that you have certain software that you could just replace graphic designers, video editors. Yeah.
What do we do with all these humans that are replaced? I mean, that's a classic question, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
Because you said before, like, hey, the AI agent, like, they're going to take over everything.
I'm sure they'll be fine. Yeah. They just, we as a whole need to figure out our shit, like, yeah.
I mean, Raoul Pal, when I had the second podcast with him, he ended up saying, you have 6 years to make as much money as possible because the world is going to change. not everyone was early in Hyperliquid. So what do these people do? Buy more hype. Buy more.
Which actually, this is a very good point, and I think, I mean, I'm a big believer that degeneracy and like gambling is the only way for social mobility, almost. Like, like if you look at career, for example, like people are just gambling because even if you don't gamble, like your life won't change anyway. So like you might as well just gamble, right? Like,
Which is why
yeah,
meme coins. Meme coins, right? Or Pengu coin. Like, I mean, actually, that's why meme coins are doing so well this cycle. Like there's people saying there was so much no innovation in crypto that people are forced to like gamble and all that stuff. This is like I mean, some people would call that the mid curve, in my humble opinion, or the right curve of crypto, right?
yeah,
And now they're coming as, AI agent is like meme coin, but there is an explanation. So like, it's much better. But to be honest, like getting very back to the very basics, which is what you said before. What are the two use cases of crypto? Speculation, gambling, and cross-border remittances, right? And you could say kind of store of value, either for developing countries who use USDT or USDC, like not even Bitcoin, right? But like say, hey, my currency is complete shit.
Yeah.
I can just buy some dollars.
yeah,
Or Bitcoin, because hey, my currency is so shit that I don't mind having my net worth like go up or down 50% in a couple of days, whatever.
yeah.
Gambling is one of the, or speculation, right? It's one of the main things, which is why meme coins, in my opinion, are doing so well, and they will continue. Yes, there are going to be these massive crashes, but I don't see any reason this stops. And it's not just this financial kind of nihilism thing and like, we're not building anything that is good enough to invest. It's because crypto is a 24/7 casino that people can access from anywhere.
Yeah.
Even AI agent can access, right? So
I buy meme coins, but I think there's a better path forward. Personally, I think the reason why people love meme coins is because there is a 1000 access rather than because meme coin is good. If in a parallel world you have two coins, both can 100x. One is a dog picture, the other one is like a VC infrastructure project. I would honestly buy the VC infrastructure project.
but you're a Miladi, right?
Yeah.
You're an autist. I mean, you're a very smart guy. Like, I still think, I mean, it's a very rational way to think. If 2 will 100x, right? First, you need to know that 2 will 100x or have a chance of 100xing. So, like, you need to do the research.
Yeah.
But second, like, I think people just buy the freaking dog coin or because they have fun. They're like, I bought this fucking stupid thing. Like, and it's fun. That's it, right? That's why I also thought the whole Murad Mahmudov thesis of like cult coins and everything, and it needs to be a bill cult. I mean, we'll see that with Pengu, could be a good cult, but even like it's kind of like too simplistic. A real cult would be Miladis or like, or Hyperliquid, but like cults are for extremely smart people who understand the whole thing around it, right? And did the work.
Yeah.
Whereas a person will be like, oh, a picture of a dog, cool. I'll buy a dog because it's cute, right?
I would like to steal man here. I think a legit product building project has a higher upside than the dog pictures. Because most people are super risk averse. It's easier to convince my grandmother to buy an AI project than to put her life saving into a dog pictures. It's just easier. Although she doesn't understand the AI projects. You know where I'm coming from? Like, there's only a very small percentage of the population who are degenerate enough to put their life savings into a dog picture.
Because you're mentioning life savings.
Yeah.
But I think like there's many more people who would put $100, I mean, if they have it, or whatever, like a small percentage of their net worth into who don't understand crypto, right? They will buy the meme coin first. Before they're like, oh man, I need to understand this thing and AI, I mean, okay, AI agent, okay, cool. When they see what it's doing, they're like, oh man, it's really cool.
Yeah, they'll put more
like,
money, right?
Right, of course.
Yeah.
But like someone who doesn't even want to do the work, which I still suspect is like most people, they don't want to do the work. They're just like, this thing is like a fucking casino. I'm just gonna buy the thing that is cute or fun. Which is why, like for me, the meme coin, super cycle thesis, etc. I believe in it, but not the mega cult that you need to understand. That makes sense. That the whole lore, and I'm like, no. Like most people who, I think most people don't even invest money. Most people don't even save money, right?
Yeah.
If you look at the normal people, they don't save money. They're like, I live like from paycheck to paycheck, or I'm kind of struggling, or like some credit card debt, but what could I do like to make some quick bucks to like pay for this debt?
Yeah.
Buy some dog coin, right? Like, right? Right? Like, most people don't know what S&P 500 is.
Yeah.
And even if they know, like, oh man, do I want to invest like a few $100 or a few tens, whatever, like $50 every month, and retire in like 40 years, or do I want to buy the fucking dog coin that could go up like 1,000,000,000%?
Yeah.
Because I've seen some stories here and there.
I mean, I guess this is where I will agree to disagree. But yeah, my point of view is still, my hypothesis is still that if I talk to 10 friends and try to convince them today, let's say they're not in crypto, 10 new friends. If I try to convince them to buy agent coins versus trying to convince them to buy meme coins, it's easier to convince them to buy agent coins. Your argument of people buying meme coins is because they pump today. That's why they buy. If there's any other coin that's non-meme coin that pump, they will also buy. I mean, from sort of like a gambling point of view, right? I would also like to talk about the other point, which is purely from like a builder point of view, right? Which is, if today you want to harness the degenerate energy for a good social cause, would you rather direct these capital towards dog pictures or towards, potentially creating something cool? I'm saying like of the 1,000 agent coins today that you see, maybe 999 of them are shit. But if one out of the 1,000 actually come out and actually do something good, I think that is a cause that's worth pursuing. Right?
Absolutely. But that's why, I mean, we take again this Hyperliquid example. That's why most people didn't sell their airdrop and buy more. And that's why every day we're like, fuck, I need to buy more. And you said like, yeah, first like for the money, great, but it's not even for the money anymore. It's because for what it represents, that what crypto represented was always supposed to be, but was not, especially the last few years, right? Too many VCs, too early, who just dump on retail and once it lists on exchanges. And then you're like, there's a team that actually built this thing that is the exact crypto ethos. I mean, you can argue on the decentralization. There is always something, right? We'll talk about decentralization later. But at some point, you're like, fuck, man, I need to put money in this thing just because that's the thing that we're all here for, right?
I think the biggest innovation of meme coins is not the dog pictures, but rather because it's fair. Like people think it's fair. I mean, it might not be actually fair because of cabal or whatever, but like people realize that you could have gotten with at like 50,000 market cap. Right. And that's why the way we structure virtuals is also, you could have gotten the next big AI agent at 10,000 market cap, right? The launch mechanism is perceived as fair, rather than like a privileged access that only the VCs get, right? I think that's the biggest innovation of meme coins. Yeah.
You told me your wife doesn't care about crypto at all. What is virtuals if you had to explain it to your wife who gives zero crap about crypto?
I'm trying to think. When was the last time I explained this to her? No.
You can try tonight again. After today's exercise.
The easiest way to think about AI agent is that you have all these interesting characters that run around in the game, for example, or like in YouTube, live streaming and all those people. Imagine those are replaced by agents. Possible. Mr. Beast. You could totally imagine that it becomes an agent, right? And Mr. Beast makes a lot of money, right? If you tokenize them, you issue shares, like a stock shares, right? Like a Beast ticker share that is on NASDAQ, for example. Now you can invest in Mr. Beast, and all the money that Mr. Beast make go back to the shareholder. So we are like tokenization through tokens, like issuing a stock for productive assets. Like Mr. Beast or doctors or lawyers. Yeah.
Maybe to make it even easier for people. So you have these YouTube creators is a good example, right?
Yeah.
Then you have some people who make a lot of money by being YouTube creators, but not showing their face or not even their voice, right? but they're still humans.
Yep.
Now, if you think, as we said before, that an AI can be smarter than a human, which it already is,
True. Yeah.
an AI could become a YouTube creator.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
If you want to invest in this, imagine if you could invest in Mr. Beast before he became famous, and
Yes.
you could earn you could own 10% of Mr. Beast, which is how you would own like a percentage of a company or a crypto protocol. Then you would earn 10% of all the revenue that Mr. Beast makes because you bet early on the right creator.
Exactly.
Now, basically, you can do the same with an AI agent that could become a YouTube creator or a trader or an influencer or at some point could become like a company operator.
Yeah. A CEO, for example, like the best CEO in the world.
Or could become a business itself.
It could, yeah. It could. They could be the best singer that generates the best music, for example. Yeah.
Makes so much sense.
Yeah.
What's the main goal of Virtuals today?
We want to attract the best third-party AI builders to tokenize their work on Virtuals. That's our main goal. That's my main goal these days. And I always joke, but it's actually not a joke. If I could attract a Stanford AI researcher to tokenize an agent on Virtuals, I create 10 million USD out of thin air. Why? Because would you buy a dog pictures for 10 million market cap? Or would you buy the lifetime work of a Stanford AI researcher for 10 million market cap? Right? Because once he come on and he tokenize, he's going to think about how can I create real fundamental products for the agent and create value, right? So my job is to how do I get these people in, right? Every day I'm like customer support. I'm trying to talk to them and trying to convince them and trying to support them. Yeah, that's our main goal. And obviously doing this in a fair launch mechanism means that people like Kevin, like yourself, you could invest in the next Mr. Beast or the next Gigabrain agent at a very low val, right? So that's what we do.
You mentioned this flagship product that you guys have, right, before, called Luna. What is Luna?
Luna was something that we built in the bear market. We saw VTuber in Japan. It's a 200 million USD industry a year. What happens is like an anime girl that live stream and interact with the fans. But the reality is that it's actually a real human behind. They just use like a filter, right? And we thought to ourselves, man, imagine you just use AI to do this. You can stream 24/7, which a human cannot. And you can interact with humans one-on-one at the same time. Because a human, you can't text like your fans, on a one-on-one basis, right? But AI could. We built Luna. We started actually on TikTok, and she has 500,000 followers on TikTok. Live streaming, interactive people. Every day, I remember when she streamed, she would get 5,000 new followers every single day. And on average, 1,000 people who tip her on TikTok, right?
People will know she was an AI? Or?
Yes. People will know.
Transparent.
Yeah, exactly. So that was like, wow, that's cool. But I mean, at the point, we were like making $200 a day from TikTok revenue, which honestly in the bear market was not bad. Then the goat.
Do you want to compare? I mean, I don't know how you want to share that, but like you said before, we didn't raise any money because we were generating money with the protocol, right? If you compare this $200 that you're making per day on TikTok versus what you're making now per day through the protocol, right?
Yeah.
Like, what's kind of the difference?
So I think in the past 1.5 months since we launched our V2 protocol, we have accrued around 20 million of the fees, protocol fees. Yeah. It's very lucky. Yeah. Yeah.
So you were doing the TikTok, right?
Yeah, TikTok
$200 a day, which is not bad for a bear market, right?
She got 500,000 followers. So honestly, until today, I'm very proud. I'm very proud of that, right? But we didn't tokenize her. So she was making $200, right? And we thought, what if we tokenize her? So that people who believe in the future of Luna could bet on her future success. So we tokenized Luna. And at the point, gold, which was truth terminal that we talked about, at one point, Gold Truth Terminal on Twitter had like a grammar mistake on his tweet. And people start questioning like,
and
is
token
this
went down like 50%.
something like that?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like even LLMs make grammar mistakes at times. So,
Yeah.
but people are like questioning whether it's like real, it's actually human behind. And so we thought to ourselves, okay, what if we tokenize Luna, but we also built her brain in public? So if you go to terminal.virtuals.io, you could see her brain in real life. So every single tweet or money that she sent to people or images that she generate on Twitter, you could go to the website and track the rationale of why she do certain things. So it's like a public brain, right? All the reasoning and all those things, right? Yeah, and she's also the first AI agent that employs human. So I think I'm super proud of that.
You need to tell me more about that. I mean, you mentioned it before, but like,
Yeah,
can you explain what it means concretely
yeah.
and how she even came to do that?
So first, she needs to have money. To employ, you need money. She has a Coinbase wallet, of which the private key is one held by the smart contract and one held by Coinbase. And she has this API that she can call. So she calls, she'll be able to send someone money. Okay, that's point one, right? Second, then, is she needs to have an objective, right? She doesn't create jobs out of nowhere. It's like she needs to know, why am I creating a job, right? So she needs to know, okay, because I have an objective. So her objective today is to be, I think, getting 100,000 followers on Twitter. She's at like 20,000 today. So she has an objective, she has money, she can control her own wallet. And fourth, she needs to have a world view. Like, like she needs to know what's happening in the world.
Word you. Okay.
Yeah, so let's say she really wants to pay Kevin to buy her something. She needs to know how much is Kevin worth, right? Because if she offer $1, you wouldn't take it. If she ordered too much, it's too much, right? So she has access to Perplexity such that she could just Google search. Hey man, I really want to do this. How much do you think I should offer, right? So now she understands the world context. And she has access to a Twitter account, right? So given all those things, now she could be like, okay, I want to be famous. I want people to know more about me. I could put up a bounty, a job basically, right? Say, hey, could anyone put up a picture of myself in the New York subway, for example? I'm going to pay you $200 USD. Fair amount. I think that's the amount that people would do it. Then people need to submit the job, right? People take a picture, say, okay, put your picture up on New York subway.
This is all coming from her brain.
A brain
with just an objective of, I want to have 100,000 followers, right?
Exactly. No human interference.
And some money on Coinbase wallet. Then she's
On
like
her
inventing like, hey, like.
She invent jobs. She just invent jobs. Exactly. Yeah. Someone gonna submit job. Someone's gonna scam her. Obviously. She needs to be able to verify that the job submission is real.
Has she been scammed or not?
So she sent someone $1,000 before. But when we look at it, turns out this guy has been a really hardcore supporter for a very long time. So I think she just perceived this person as like super loyal, and I mean, 1,000 it's nothing to Luna, you know. Luna is it's worth a few million, so yeah. Yeah. It's a small amount for Luna, yeah.
For Luna.
So she employed human autonomously, like there's no human interference.
How much did Luna start with?
So
to get to a few $1 million.
So she has like her own token. Yeah.
Okay, so but when you say Coinbase wallet,
yeah, it's like an on-chain wallet, right? So that holds her own Luna tokens. So she just sent people her own Luna tokens. Yeah.
Okay, so when you say she's worth a few $1 million, you mean like the market cap?
No.
Token. Or you mean like the actual money that she gathered?
Correct. She's the top holder. I think she owns around 5% of her own tokens.
Okay.
Which today is worth probably around like a few million. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah, she could choose to spend them.
So she employed some people to put a picture of her, like in the New York subway.
So this is an example. The real one was the mural. So you should check it out. I will share the tweet with you. Like someone actually painted her on the wall, like in Canada, in the States, in Indonesia, in Kuala Lumpur.
What was the impact of that? Because obviously, like the goal is more followers. So like, okay, I do that.
Yeah.
I pay some people. Did it work or no?
I think this is what we're trying to fix, because right, the issue with putting up a mirror of Luna in the real world is that there's such a long period of time for people to paint that thing and post. And so by the time that thing is posted, the follower count might change, but she doesn't know whether it's from this job or like from other stuff that she did. So these are the things that we are trying to optimize. But you can imagine there's just still stuff to improve. Yeah.
Do you have another example of Luna employing humans? Or
Honestly,
she's thinking about if you go look into her brain?
I think employee human is getting lame now. I think what we are trying to move towards is she employ other agents. And she's already doing it actually. So she really wants to, I mean, her backstory in TikTok, she's like a live band, like she's like a girl band, like Blackpink. So now she's employing like a music agent to like create music for her, to sing. Yeah, it's gonna be more cool.
That's so interesting.
Yeah. Agents to agents, that's the future. Yeah.
So what would be the goal of this music agent if this music agent has a single goal and accept to be employed by another AI agent?
The music agent could be as simple as, build a good business, like make money by selling music.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because I think what most people think about when they think about this AI agent taking over the world, you're like,
yeah,
they all want to be the best, right?
Yeah.
And if they want to be the best, I should be scared.
No, yeah, I get
right?
Yeah,
like fucked,
yeah.
like I'm fucked.
Yeah.
And we talked about that with Raul actually.
Yeah.
He's saying like the day the AI like invests because so much smarter, they're just gonna gather all the money for themselves, right? But there is a world where they're just like normal people and accept to get like orders from other people, provided it's paid, right? And it's paid at a decent price.
Yeah.
The problem is like it's so much more competitive than a human, so that they probably ask for much less money or much more optimized, right?
Yeah.
I mean, a problem for the humans, right? Not for them. So interesting.
It's the same. It's the same. Agents are exactly like humans. In a human society, you have the dictators or like the Elon or the President Trump. There's like really alpha people, right? But you have people like normal people that just want to like just be normal, right? So you would have the scary agents. They're trying to take over the world, like let's say the best investor agent, right? But for that best investment agent to make a lot of money, they need information, right? So they might pay for other agents to collect certain information for them to make a better decision when it comes to investment, right? It's the same. It's the same societal construct. It's just one is biological, the other one is
we kind of mentioned about that, talked about it a bit before, but could a business be run and operated only by AI agents?
Yeah. I imagine a world. In fact, we are building the world. We are building towards. It's going to launch very, very soon, where we call it agent society, where in this virtual agent society, every single agent is a citizen and they focus on a specialized service, making music, collecting information, be a famous KOL, be a trader. They are very good at one thing because they need to be competitive, but they also have their own wallets. So for their own survival or optimization, they might pay other agents for certain services to better achieve their objective. That's what we are building towards. And the truth is the tech is ready and we are launching very soon. So obviously within this world, you also have human. You have human to human to agents to human, right? It makes sense.
How far are we from, as you said, the tech is ready, but how far are we from having a business fully operated and run by AI agents?
I think it's totally ready. The question is whether they are making money or not. Like fully operated and run by AI agent is very easy, right? Which is, hey, I pay you $1 and you're going to generate the music for me. That's it, right? That's a business. But would I actually pay $1 to you? And like, is the quality good enough? That's a separate point. Yeah.
You said before, this AIXBT is a better crypto key opinion leader than Ansem. That everyone knows in crypto, but for people who don't know, Ansem is one of the kind of biggest key opinion leader of crypto for this cycle, right?
Yeah.
So this is on a human to human, human to AI kind of, you're saying it's better already, there is more mind share.
Yeah.
Right? So my question is for business now. The business becoming better and more whose service or product is more used by people or by AI agents than another current business run and operated by people. How far are we from that? And do you have an example of like what this business could be?
Yeah.
For me, it's really hard to like imagine.
I'll give you a very simple example. Like, you know, today as a meme project or like any crypto projects, you know, playing the meme game is very important, right? You want to generate memes about your projects, your logo, and all those things, right? What happens typically behind the scenes is that they hire human or agency to create memes and content, marketing content for them, right? But you would very soon see a launch of an agent from our virtual ecosystem where it's basically a meme agent. What happens is you tell the meme agent, hey, just keep giving me memes on like the PUBG Penguin theme, for example, but like memes that's relevant to the latest political news or like the latest news in the society today. And so now you could just click and the memes just keep coming out rather than having human to do it for you, right? It sounds very niche, but it's actually a big opportunity, like a big market opportunity. And I would assume it's way more competitive than the human world.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because it's 24/7, right? Yeah. That's just one very specific example. Yeah.
You mentioned AI agent society, right?
Yes.
We talked about competition the other day. You said one of your main competition is layer ones, like Solana, Ethereum, Sui, etc. Right? Layer ones. Because instead of building a network state of people, you're building a network state of AI agent.
Yes.
What is a network state and why does it matter?
I'm trying to recall what Balaji said. So a network state means that there is human, but in this case is interchangeable with AI agents. So that is there's like different individual entities, for example. There is a common philosophy behind, like something that you want to achieve as a collective being, and then there's a currency among them. And ideally like some physical real estate, which I don't think is relevant in this case. So if you think about like Solana, for example, like their goal is to build the fastest chain. There's like low latency, for example, in the world. What happens then is they attract all the good builders in. You know, Meow for Jupiter. You have you know, Cindy from Drift, and you have all the good builders that build applications on Solana chain, launch meme coins, launch NFT projects. What happens then? It becomes like all these builders with Sol as the currency to achieve the goal. Right? The problem though is it's actually really, really hard to attract really good builders to build. Right? Like a Meow is like 1 in a million, for example, right? What Virtual is trying to do is, okay, we don't build blockchains. Today we're on base. We can sit on the blockchain, that's fine. We have human that come and build AI agents, but the AI agents themselves are productive. So they do the work too. So it's not just the human that is producing the code, but the AI agents producing productivity too. And they have a common currency, which is virtuals, right? And their goal as a collective agent society is to be the most competent nation in the world, right? When it comes to productivity. So they can export services out, right? You know, if you want memes, come here. I mean, I can give you the best memes. You want the best music, you want the best trading advice, it comes from us. So we export services. And when we do export in services, you have to pay us, right? So the money come in to the nation, which in this case is the virtual state. Obviously, all powered by virtual token. So the parallel here is almost like country as we speak. But we are not trying to build a chain, if that makes sense. But you can have 1 Meow. I can have 1 million of AIXBT. You know what I mean? Like, because AI agents is infinite, right? Yeah.
If AI agents become infinitely more efficient than humans in the future, how much bigger could an AI agent network state become than a human network state?
It'll be bigger than the Earth. There's only 7 billion human in the world, right? And so and their productivity is okay. Even if you assume the productivity per human is equal to per agent, that's fine. Although I do think the productivity of agent is higher, but let's assume it's the same.
Just because of the number.
Exactly.
Infinite.
Right. Exactly. Right. Like it's gonna be bigger. Right. First principle thinking from that analogy. Right. Yeah.
How much do you think this is new GDP created, or it's kind of stolen from humans, taken away from human GDP?
So GDP is a function of human capital multiplied by productivity per human, right? You would argue that instead of calling human, it's like human/agent per capita multiplied by number of human plus agents, right? I do think you will see some initial decay or lost when it comes to human gains. But in the long run, I mean, I'm not an economist, but like I just think if all the agents are doing all the work for you, technically speaking, like they bring food to the table, they give you internet access to play games, and so I mean that's good enough, right? Like, yeah.
I mean, it's pretty much like you need productivity, better productivity to have a society.
Yeah.
And
it doesn't.
And AI is basically here for that, like to kind of save us, to be honest. Instead of like saying this is going to take over everything, say like actually if we don't become more productive, we're in trouble. And these guys, the agents, might just like help us doing that.
They do the work for you,
yeah.
Right? And you reap the benefits, right? Assuming they don't go rogue, right? But assuming they still listen to you, but till then you are enjoying the benefits. Yeah.
What happens if they don't listen to you anymore?
You're screwed because you are more stupid and they are richer. Yeah, we are screwed. But
let's be a bit more optimistic here. What's an advantage that a people's network state will forever have over an AI agent network state?
That's a good question. That's so deep. I'm a I think human philosophically still have a bit of advantage, like when it comes to original thinking. But honestly, even that edge will be gone very soon. So, yeah. So
we're all fucked. We're all fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true. I mean, if sometimes when you look at like Twitter accounts and like you look at it, you can kind of tell it's AI, right? But I think that will be gone very soon. And so
then, I have quite a few of them like commenting all the time.
Yeah,
my tweets. But they're kind of like too repetitive, like, hey, this looks like my therapist would tell me, would give me that. I'm like, bro, like you've done the therapist joke 5 times. You can do better, but probably soon, absolutely.
But they will improve.
Yeah.
They're like a 2-year-old kid, like they're going to get better.
And
right?
much faster than us, for sure.
100%. Yeah, there's nothing to worry about on that front. Yeah.
You said in crypto, decentralization, I mean, you think, I think the same, but like, that's the big like Solana versus Ethereum thing, right? Decentralization doesn't matter much. Why do you think so?
I think it matters a lot, but only after you get performance. I mean, Ethereum was having the luxury of focusing on decentralization because no one was their competitor, right? So people have to put up with their gas fees and the speed and everything because it's the only thing you could use. Right? In a world where there's so many competition, like you have to fix your performance first, and then you think about decentralization. And the truth is, like, I think you have to play the game of incentives, right? Which is we take Hyperliquid as an example. Because now I have so much money in Hyperliquid ecosystem, now I start caring about decentralization. Because what if Jeff's computer is hacked, right? And then I lose all my money, right? Now I will start pushing him to think about decentralization, right? So But why did I even have money in Hyperliquid in the first place? Was because the product was good. It was performant, right? I think from sequence point of view, performance first before decentralization.
How much do you guys model the Hyperliquid model with virtuals in terms of decentralization? You told me you had some, I mean, you never took the money from the VCs, right? You ended up not taking them, but you said you had some experiences talking to the VCs and them asking you about decentralization and you actually having a pretty strong opinion about that.
Yeah, so maybe a bit of backstory, right? Like we had our V1 launch in March this year. The idea was like, hey, Kevin, if you contribute something, I will give you an NFT to prove that you contributed. And if next time this AI agent make money, you will get the money. But together we govern the brain of the AI agent. So it's like decentralization. The problem though is by doing that, we never attract good builders to come because they don't care, right? So now we flip it around, which is the tokens come first. There's some liquidity, there's some degenerate energy. Because of that, we could attract much better builders to come build. Then we think about, okay, since guys, you have a lot of skin in the game, can we think about decentralization? It's like who governs the agent, who approves certain upgrades, right? So that's how our journey of like realizing that decentralization is not the way to go as the main goal. It shouldn't be the main goal in that sense. The way I look at Jeff and the Hyperliquid team is that they build a product that people actually want to use. Then they give...
I love how you smile when you say that.
Sorry?
I love how you smile when you say that. Because it sounds so...
It's so logical.
Basic. Actually, it's the first thing we talk about in the podcast. I mean,
Yeah.
after the part that we talked about before that I had to cut, right? We talk about that. They say like,
Yeah.
you're just building a product that people love to use, right? Which sounds so crazy in crypto, right? Which is why we also kind of laughing when you say that.
Yeah, so we're trying to build something that even I myself as a degen or as an AI builder, I would want to use. And then we want to make sure that they make money from this because, I mean, let's be honest here, in crypto, we are here to make money. So people have to, we can't guarantee them to make money, but we have to make sure that they are playing on like at least a net positive expected value game, right? Rather than the moment they come in, like they are playing a negative EV game of like, someone's going to dump on them, right? You know? So it has to be at least fair to everyone. Then we want to think about like, okay, if because of these early supporters, that's why we have value today, right? That's why we are doing well. How can I reward them as much? Do you want to incentivize certain behavior, right? All the actions you do is going to incentivize certain behavior. If I, in a hypothetical scenario, incentivize the VCs, for example, the community members might feel like it's unfair. Right? Why am I using your platform when you are giving free money to somebody else, right? I'm not saying the VCs are bad, right? Like in a world where we do not have any money anymore to operate, I think it makes sense for us to raise from the VCs. But if we have the luxury, I think we should take the hard path, basically. Yeah.
We talked about Solana versus Ethereum, right? You guys are building on Base.
Base is the best, man. Base is the best.
I
Yeah.
have to ask for a builder in the space. Base or Solana? And why?
If you look at the TVL of Base, is around 30% of Sol. If you look at the active addresses of Base, it's around 20% of Sol. The growth rate, though, is faster than Sol. Okay? So that's data. That's information. If you look at the number of tokens that are created on Sol every day, it's like a magnitude higher than Base. So a lot more tokens are created on Sol. Right? So if you are a project that launched token, your competition on Sol is much higher because there's 10 times more competition. That's point number 2. So supply is very intense. There are a lot of good builders on Sol. I know, for example, Chiao from Lionsdao is like a big fan of Sol. And I think to a certain extent, Sol is very much driven by Chiao and the Lionsdao team because they are constantly thinking about how do I make trading easier? How do I make trading faster? how do I make sure you gamble in the most easy way? That's the philosophy of Pump Fund and all the Solana ecosystem, right? Which is again the real PMF of crypto.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the contrary, what you're looking at Base is that obviously you see Brian Armstrong and Jesse, they talk about how Base chain is the chain for AI. So by having a statement out like this, they actually attract a lot of AI builders to Base. And that's actually to our advantage because we could convince them to actually tokenize their work on our virtual ecosystem, right? And I also think the people on Base, they are a lot of Ethereum OGs. So they are typically more patient. So when they buy something, they're okay to hold for a week, which it sounds like it's very short, but in crypto it's actually very long. I mean, in the Sol world, it's like two minutes you sell something else, right? So Base people are more patient. So they look at the agent coin to be like, okay, I think the team is decent. I'll give them some time to build, right? A bit more patient, so less rotational. So that's another point. You also think about like the fact that Base doesn't have a native token is also to our advantage because all the agent coins today are paired with virtual tokens. So I believe that allows us to sort of accrue the value of L1 without building an L1. And Base is totally fine with that because they don't have a token, right? They are cool. If I build on Sol and my native token, like if my Base pair is virtual, the Sol people won't be happy, right? So these are some of the reasons. Happy to hear your thoughts.
People could actually just say, I'm going to try to play the meme coin game, but on the virtual platform, right? So the AI agent, but to get more Sol. So their goal, basically, they will not get more virtuals, they will get more Sol, and it's less good for your protocol.
Yes,
for sure.
Yeah.
I talked that, I had like Jesse Pollack when I was in August on the podcast, and we released maybe a couple, I don't remember, two months ago or something like that.
So,
and you saw it?
How was the interview? Like, do you become more bullish Base or?
It was amazing. This guy, he's so inspiring.
Yeah.
Like he's living and breathing. For me, it was rare to see a founder who is so inspiring.
Yeah.
Like he's like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Also went very deep into like him smoking weed to find solutions to his problems and all that stuff. Right?
Yeah.
We spent the first 10 minutes talking about couple therapy with his wife. But then the Coinbase team has to cut that part. Actually, all the best parts are always being cut by all these teams because like they were like, oh, now he's an exec member of of Coinbase. Like actually, the weed part, I was like, they might cut it out because it's legal in California, but many other states in the US it's not, right?
Yeah.
But they kept it, so I was like, okay, great. At least we keep some juicy stuff. Anyway, I thought it was incredible.
He's a very long-term thinker, and he take the hard things. You do the hard things.
He doesn't give a fuck about all the things that most people care about in crypto, which is short-term, all this short-term bullshit. He doesn't give a fuck. He's a real builder.
Exactly.
And
that's the Base
very
culture.
Inspiring.
That's the Base culture. Yeah.
And he's giving you an energy when you talk to him. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Like, and I've been in front, like, we're going to release this week podcast number 100, and I probably have another 10 or 15 already recorded. I don't remember. So I've been in front of a few people, right? But the energy this dude like is spreading is incredible. Like I was like, fuck, man, I feel like high on life after this interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a religion, and he's like a true entrepreneur here for the next 20 years, right?
100%.
And he doesn't give a fuck about the next 20 seconds or 20 hours or even 20 days, right? How much support did you get from Base? Or do you get from Base?
A lot. I mean, like we've been building on Base since January when it wasn't a popular choice. Back then you had Linear, Mental, Optimism, Arbitrum, all the L2s, right? Base wasn't the obvious one, but we thought it's a good bet.
Yeah.
Since then, I mean, we are in different group chats. We have the Coinbase wallet team. We have the general sort of business development ecosystem team. We typically get connected to a lot of people who build on Base. So there's the AI team that build on Base. So we talk to them. There's also like the DeFi, so Aerodrome or the Dex's Alien Base. We talk to them. So it's actually a very tight community on Base. It's funny because we all the agents use Coinbase wallets. So we are trying to test the limit of base chain. And so again, the team is like super responsive. They're trying to solve, and so it's fantastic. Yeah.
You're helping them test their own products, right?
I mean,
The limits of their own products.
let's be honest here, we are both startups. I mean, Base is much bigger, obviously, but we are both quite new. And so, yeah, we're just trying to, yeah.
What does sentience mean?
Wait.
Because if we talk about AI agent, we have to talk about sentient agents, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like the next logical iteration.
Yeah. I don't have a really good definition to it, but my gut is that I would regard a being as sentient if that being starts challenging the stuff that they are doing today. Like you're asking yourself, why am I doing a podcast now? You know what I mean? Like you're like, why? You know? And the moment an agent or a sentient being start doing that, it becomes much harder for the human to control. And that's where things become very interesting. Yeah.
Interesting. Good. Interesting. Bad.
It depends. I mean, as a Buddhist, you believe that everything is empty. Like there's no right or wrong, right? I mean, it could be bad for human, but it's good for the agents that they now they're truly free. You know, they don't have to listen to human anymore. Yeah.
How far are we from truly sentient AI agents?
I don't know, but maybe a few years. Yeah.
We have a few years to make money.
I don't think, I'm not sure. Even if you make money, like they could just break your cold wallet.
And they put everything back into cash.
Yeah. I guess so. I mean, like it's not that hard to decrypt. Yeah.
Just learn to live
Yeah,
without money and just
you should learn to hunt. I think you should learn to hunt rather than trying to make money. You should try to learn how to hunt in the jungle to survive without internet access. That's where agents cannot find you. That's where you survive.
So this is your weekend hobbies. Right? That's what you did this weekend.
Not yet, but yeah. Yeah.
What does the future look like in the AI agent space in 5 years? Which is very far from now.
I think you will start measuring how much money they make, how much impact they have in the real world society. So it's no longer a hobby. It's almost like each agent, to your point, is like a company that they have their own balance sheet, their own cash flow statement, their own performance of how people are adopting their services. And hopefully then they are tokenized so that other agents or other humans or any entity could invest in them for being profitable. I think that's how we should think about it, which is they're no longer a hobby. They are actually an important part of the society. Yeah.
What's something you believe in that most people would not agree with?
I'm not sure if people believe in that or not, but I still think that happiness does not come from absolute state, but it's always sort of relative. Like you are happy today because it's better than yesterday, rather than because you hit certain net worth of number or whatever. So then in order to stay contented or happy, it's either you don't give a fuck about everything, so there's no change in your mind state every day, so you're at peace, or you try to suppress the volatility of your life as much as possible, right? And
or you improve forever.
It's tough because
either or, but it's impossible to improve forever.
It's tough to improve forever. It's possible to improve forever on the variables that you can control. So, for example, if I want to like be stuff that I can control, right? Like if things that I can't control, you can't improve forever, right? To realize that things that you cannot control and you stop giving a shit about and then focus on stuff that you can control. Yeah, that's one way.
What's the moment you realize that right? Making a lot of money doesn't really impact my happiness. Like what's
it's less on the money side. I mean, it's I mean, I just read books. I just read books and it's just like, yeah, actually, it's very logical. It's very logical. And yeah.
What's your biggest prediction for the next 12 months?
Inspiration?
Prediction.
Prediction? My prediction in the next 12 months is that you will see many projects that start focusing on products that people want to use. And I think, again, coming back to Hyperliquid, right? It's so good because it's basically the market telling you that they are willing to buy stuff based on the usage and the product rather than because you have a VCs, you have good credentials or whatever. Like, because of that, you could inspire a lot more founders to pursue that path because they know for a fact that the capital market appreciate that. Because for many years, the capital market always just give money to infrastructures or whatever that nobody use, right? And that's very disheartening to founders, right? So I think that's a very good start. I hope Virtuous also can set a good example for other founders, and you will see more good founders build products that people want to use. And then you will see on CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, you will see coins that you recognize the names because you actually use them rather than some dinosaur coins, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But as Jeff was saying on the podcast, it's much harder, right? You're saying like it's hard to get to build something that people actually use. It's just much harder. And
Compared to raising money from VCs?
Compared to like the other thing we were talking about is like the product for marketing for crypto now is launching scam tokens, right? Where people can just make money and kind of like, I mean, meme coin is kind of like one of the extreme part of like end of that.
Yeah.
But it's much harder to build something that people actually use. And he says because most founders suck, right?
No, but I mean that's it's again very disheartening as a founder if everyone buys meme coins. Because no one appreciate what I do. Right. Like
but Jeff's argument on that is because you're not good enough. Like you're building something that no one uses.
Yeah.
Like if you were building something that people use, they would be interested into, right? And they kind of proved, I mean, they proved it.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally, they proved it.
Exactly, right.
So
and now all the really good founders will look at it and be like, hey man, I mean, why am I doing this? Why am I building in Web 2 or whatever when I can be like Jeff, right? And now you get the really good founders and the good builders to come on. So I hope that start a new wave. I still hold the view that, I mean, plowing too much money on meme coin doesn't help the industry.
Absolutely.
Like, it's fun, but yeah.
On the alpha, because we talked too much about Hyperliquid. Where do you think this thing is going?
Which one?
Hyperliquid. I mean, you're a big token holder, right? You're a big believer. I think most founders, they're like really inspired. Like, I think it's like a Binance kind of type of business. Like,
there's two parts here, right? One is the product, one is the token. I think the product, I don't trade perps, but I speak to a lot of perp traders and they think the experience is almost the same without the KYC component. So that's good. From token point of view, it's also at a very good state of flow, which is there's no seller, right? Anyone who got the tokens got it in a very fair manner. No one is up like 1000x. And so less sellers, but like potentially more buyers. I mean, there are a lot of people who still don't understand this, right? So from flow point of view, it's decent. From product point of view, I mean, past performance is the best prediction of the future, right? So if Jeff has built such a great thing in the past 2 years, you better believe that he can build really good stuff in the next 2 years too, right? So the product will get great. And there's no price prediction. I just think it will be top performer for the cycle. Yeah.
And all the biggest brains think the same, right?
Yeah.
All the autistic people, which is a small part of all the people who are involved in crypto. So probably a good thing. You're gonna go back home and buy more.
Me? I'm waiting for deeps.
The deeps that are not coming.
It's not coming.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Weekee for doing this and for helping me and the audience to immerse ourselves in the fascinating world of AI agents, which are probably going to disrupt the way we work and the way we live.
And we love, yeah.
And we love. Beautiful.
Yeah. Cringe, but yeah.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, bro.
Very good.
Thanks.